out of all the equipment we have in this room, whether it's John's crankbaits, it's my lipless crankbaits, it's Ike's football jigs, all the rod and reels out there you want to fish with, are those the most important weapons of bass fishing? Exactly right. No, sir. In my opinion, they're not. The most important piece of fishing, and it'll bleed off on anything else in life, is between your ears. It's how you accept life, accept failure, accept success. Now, I will share a part of this with y'all. A lot of this touches deep. A lot of it will come back, and I'll have to tell the story through my life of how it changed me, how I still battle. We said it this morning, some of my shortcomings are I'm extremely high-strung, I'm extremely competitive. If we're in Walmart shopping and you're pushing a cart and I'm pushing a cart, I'm taking you out. I want to win at everything. To me, losing is unacceptable. Second place sucks. I don't care what nobody says. You're the first loser. You're the #1 guy to the winner. It's no good. So my attitude sometimes bleeds over to wanting to win so bad can affect you. It can almost cause you a catastrophic downfall because you apply the pressure on you. So with this being said, we'll kind of get into this. And this is deep now. This is a lot deeper than when y'all used to me being. At the end of, it was 2 years ago, on March 14th, my brother passed away of cancer. And I had battled this through this whole season, the end of that season and through the Classic, and I started getting angry. Like on the water, I was angry at everything and everybody. And every time something bad happened, it sent me in a tailspin. I mean, to the point of no turn back. And I couldn't figure it out. And at that time, that was the Classic. It was at Lake Hartwell. I think Alton Jones won it. Things started happening in that tournament that was out of control to me. Stupid stuff, not major things, you know. It's whether you're fishing, I'm fishing boat docks, it's the second day of the tournament, everything appears to be going pretty good, and I'm skipping boat docks. That's what I enjoy doing. I skip up in a pontoon boat, line jumps a foot, I jerk, fish jumps in front of the dock. It's 8 pounds if it's an ounce. It jumps again, I got him. I reach for the fish, he jumps over my hand, he comes off. I know my brother's within weeks of dying. All I wanted to do was win one tournament. One before he died. Tailspin. Whew, there I went. The rest of the season, every tournament, I overswung. No different than batting. I got out there and I said, well, I've done so bad in this one, I'm going to try harder in this one. So what happens if you're a baseball player? Anybody here play ball? You know the further you want to hit it, the worse you swing. Golfing, you overswing, it goes sideways. This was a tailspin that I took through this entire season. I mean, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even get the boat on the trailer without screwing up. And it was infuriating me. And I couldn't understand my feelings, why you're so angry, why you couldn't think. So when that season's over, I started digging around and I talked with Jimmy Mason, a guy that fished Elite Series. He said, have you ever thought about talking to a mine coach? And I said, dude, he would charge me $1 million to look inside these ears. And he said, I would like for you to talk to my mine coach. He said the guy works with athletes, professional baseball players, and all that. So I started seeing a guy about the competitive side of your mind and what it affects. And we sit down, and I'm talking with this gentleman, and I was like, you know, this guy don't fish. He really doesn't know much about it. So he says, what do you want to achieve? So I started kind of opening up to this guy, and I said, I want to be in the zone. The same zone that I was in 2004, and I won Angler of the Year. I could do whatever I wanted to on the water, and it was right. There wasn't no such thing as I fished a bad place or I made a bad decision. Life was good. Everything was right. So I go on, and I'm like laying it out there, you know. I want to be in the zone, doggone it. I want to be like Peyton Manning. I want to see the ball. I want to do this. And the whole time the guy's looking at me, and he's making a few notes, and I'm thinking he's writing down pretty much that Swindle's an idiot. And I could give him that. So at the end of this first meeting, this gentleman looks at me, and he turns this piece of paper around, and he holds it up to me. He's written in letters. He said, there is no such thing as the zone. And I'm like, well, first off, I'm paying an idiot, because I said, there is a zone. So I immediately retaliate on this guy. I was like, there is a zone. You get in the zone and you fish. He said, let me stop you, son. He said, you don't get in any zone. You create your own zone. And I was like, what? He's like, you think that you can go from having emotional anger toward losing a loved one, whatever it may drive you to be, because I never understood why this had to happen to me, so it created this anger that bled out on the water. You know, if you fish by me, I'm like, get away from me, I don't like nobody, you know, and the guy's like, hey, you like Kevin, I don't like him, I don't like Ike, I don't like nobody. You're angry and you're out of control. And I thought, each morning I would pull up to the ramp and I would think, I'm just going to jump in my boat, I'm going to enter the zone, and I'm going to dominate on the water. It's a fairy tale. It don't happen. I said, well, you're going to have to explain to me more about where we went. He said, every great athlete in the world is always say they're in the zone. Whether it's Tiger, it's Peyton, Ramirez, whoever. These guys, they're in the zone. He said, if you really talk to those guys, they live in such a positive world. Everything that happens to them is positive. I said, it's impossible, Doc. I said, there's no way everything in the world is positive. You and I know that. We go out Monday, something's going to happen. It's going to make one of us mad. He said, absolutely, but he said, it's how they look at it. He said, if something happens to you, he said, if you make a cast and your lure hits on a pier and flies off 15 feet, he said, you're mad. He said, because it wasn't what you thought ought to happen. He said, Peyton's the type of guy, or Kevin, or someone else may look at that as in, I hit the dock, my lure hit out here. His mindset is, maybe that's where my bait should have been anyway. He never questions what happened. He said, anything negative can't have power.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.